You're listening to Invested, a Fanbase podcast about the creator economy, but actually investing in Fanbase. I want to let everybody know, if you haven't, you can go to startengine.com/Fanbase right now to invest in Fanbase. We have over 29,000 investors.
Wow.
It's like 29,000 investors that are invested in Fanbase.
That's incredible.
To have equity in the company. Some of this stuff that I'm doing, I don't know. So for full transparency, Justin is a mentor to me. And I want to talk directly that this is important because couple things. I didn't know anything really about the tech space. I met Justin at the gathering spot. Shout out Ryan, TK. And I bothered him and Jewel and Barry for all this information on what it is to go into the tech industry. I found their insight very, very valuable, and I wanted to be a student without question, right? And I think this is important to creators, to investors, anybody building a business. In that process, and I've had to call him before in front of other people, and I said, Justin, like, everything y'all told me to do, did I do everything y'all said? And I ain't questioned nothing. If you said the CTO got to own a percentage of the company, I made sure that happens. If you say you got to incorporate in Delaware, if you say you have to have an MVP, if you say you have to have a deck, if you say all these, you might have to bootstrap. Like, I didn't question nothing they said because they know more than I do. And I think that's a real huge part of fan bases, that early success that we have, because you don't know anything. You're going into these spaces, and sometimes you want to help creators, you want to help people, but as soon as you tell them something, they're like, yeah, but I don't really know it. I'm like, that's not how it has to work. And so coming into this space, another thing that I learned about getting into the tech space is that a lot of times the venture capital game can be a little cutthroat. But I'm coming from the music business, so I understood that the venture capital game and the music game kind of can be similar. And so I've met founders. I've heard stories even to this day still about founders that got voted out of their companies. They lost the rights to their companies. They got kicked out. Some from people in the music business that came into the company and be like, yeah, boop, get you up out of there. Even the legendary Steve Jobs at one point was voted out of Apple. So I came into this whole tech space with this anxiety and paranoia, like, man, ain't nobody gonna steal this from me. I gotta incorporate. I gotta create 2 classes of stock. I gotta make sure that the vision that I have for the company that I want to build can go as far as I need it to go. Because you gotta understand that sometimes VCs look at your startup as a flip, like a house. So if I can come in and give you $500,000 and walk out with $2 million, hey, it's time to go, right? But you might have a vision for your company that goes beyond that 4X vision. You might have a 40X vision or a 400X vision or a 4,000X vision. I even remember at one point, Yahoo offered to buy Facebook for $1 billion. Yeah. And they were all telling Mark Zuckerberg to sell, right? They were telling Mark Zuckerberg, you need to sell Facebook for $1 billion. It's a great deal. Yahoo, sell it. The fact that Mark Zuckerberg had control of his company allowed him to decline that offer. Right. And now Meta is a $1.7 trillion company. Crazy. Right? And that is the thing that in this process of building Fanbase and the story of creating this company and allowing people to invest in it, because I have a broader vision. I understand that collectively our culture plus infrastructure gives us a path forward that we've never had before. Ever in life, we've never had the ability to own the infrastructure and be the culture on a platform at the same time. We've never had it in sports. We've never had it in music. We've never had it in TV and film, but all 3 of those industries require large amounts of capital to get into. Millions and millions of dollars to build sets and build stadiums, build record companies and mass produce CDs and records. But tech, it's digital. It's an infrastructure that we can scale infinitely globally, and our culture powers it. And so that is the reason why I think it's so important that we invest in Fanbase, because it's a vehicle that every single person that invests or has reach or has influence has the ability to go online and tell other people to join the platform and tell other people to invest. And so in building all these things, I was just oblivious to the fact that we've made a lot of progress in ways that a lot of people haven't. So when I tell investors, like, I've raised $22 million, they look at me like, bro, in equity crowdfunding?
Right.
Bro, you know what you gotta do to do that?
Invest it. Invest it. Invest it.